Imagine this, a perfectly normal day on Earth. People walking to work, cars rolling through traffic, birds drifting lazily across a calm blue sky. Nothing unusual, nothing strange. You take a breath the way you've done millions of times before. Air in, air out. A rhythm your body follows without ever asking permission. And hidden inside that breath is the molecule that makes all life possible. Oxygen, invisible, silent, everywhere. And yet, taken completely for granted, we drink it in with every inhale. Plants release it with every sunrise. The oceans produce it in shimmering waves. It binds with iron to color our blood red. It fuels engines, melts metal, turns sparks into fire, and holds the sky in its familiar soft blue glow. But what if, just for a moment, this quiet, invisible element vanished? Not forever, not for a minute, not even for 10 seconds. Just 5 seconds without oxygen, not enough to suffocate you, but long enough to tear the world apart. It would begin instantly. No warning, no sound, no sign. The blue sky, gone, turns black in less than a blink, because the sky is only blue when oxygen scatters sunlight. Without it, daylight becomes space dark. Birds drop from the air, wings beating, but no lift, because flight needs oxygen-rich air to push against. On highways, car engines cough once and die, not because they're broken, because combustion itself stops existing. Every flame on Earth vanishes. Candles, campfires, factory furnaces, even the smallest ember deep in a forest, out. And for the first time since Earth cooled billions of years ago, the planet falls completely silent. Then things get worse. Skyscrapers crack like dry bones. Concrete isn't just stone. It's held together by oxygen-based chemical bonds. Remove oxygen, and the structure weakens like wet sand. Entire blocks begin to crumble, softening, sagging, collapsing in massive gray clouds. The oceans don't stay calm either. Without oxygen, atmospheric pressure drops instantly, and when pressure drops, water boils, not because it's hot, but because boiling happens when pressure plummets. Lakes begin to fizz, rivers tremble. The surface of the ocean bubbles like a giant pot coming to a slow rolling boil. Marine life panics, not from heat, but from physics. They're suddenly living inside water that wants to escape into thin air. But the worst damage comes from above. The ozone layer, that protective shell of oxygen molecules, evaporates instantly, and raw ultraviolet radiation from the sun blasts the planet without mercy. Human skin begins to burn within a second, not flames, but deep, painful radiation. 5 seconds feel like an eternity. Up in the skies, the situation is catastrophic. Every airplane loses lift at the same instant. More than 11,000 aircraft are in the air right now. All of them begin falling. Some plummet nose down, others glide for a moment before stalling. Pilots struggle against a force that no longer exists. Oxygen flowing over wings. Inside cabins, passengers scream as the air itself becomes less air. Not dangerous yet, but the sudden drop in pressure slams against their bodies like a silent punch. At airports, jets waiting on runways shut down mid-takeoff. Fuel injectors fail, engines wind down, pilots hit switches in confusion, nothing responds. Cities ignite in strange, silent flashes. Metal structures spark and fuse together. Normally, oxygen prevents spontaneous welding, but now metals touch and merge like molten clay. Human lungs strain, not suffocating, but panicking, because the body feels something is wrong, even before the brain understands why. 5 seconds of altered reality. 5 seconds without the molecule that holds everything in place. And then, as suddenly as it vanished, oxygen returns. A violent rush of air sweeps across the world. Dust churns, windows crack, loose debris lifts and falls. People gasp hard, even though they never truly ran out of air. It's instinct, the body trying to reclaim a rhythm stolen from it. Fires roar back to life where fuel remains. Engines restart in shocked coughs. Colors return to the sky as blue washes back in. But the damage is already done. Planes still falling cannot recover in time. Thousands crash into oceans, fields, and cities in the following minutes. Skyscrapers weakened in those 5 seconds continue collapsing in slow, agonizing waves. Hospitals lose power. Factories break open. The oceans continue boiling for several seconds after oxygen returns. The radiation that hit Earth during the ozone's disappearance leaves burns, mutations, and long-term consequences. 5 seconds of absence. Hundreds of years of damage. Humans survive, most of us. But our world does not remain the same. Air travel is grounded worldwide. Radiation levels spike. Ocean ecosystems collapse from the boiling shockwave. Coral reefs die off. Entire coastlines reek of cooked marine life. Cities rebuild, but slowly. Billions are left without power, shelter, or safe drinking water. Governments collapse. New ones rise. Human civilization limps into a future shaped by the absence of a single element for just 5 seconds. Scientists begin studying oxygen like an ancient god, with fear, with awe, with respect, because only now do we understand what oxygen really is. Not just the thing that keeps us alive, not just the air we breathe, but the invisible stitching that holds the world together. So the next time you inhale, slowly, silently, without thinking, remember, life doesn't depend on oxygen. Reality does. And we only learn that truth from imagining a world without it.